Fortunately for us here, in helping us to do our job and our responsibilities and networking, we have a Republican governor's suite here and a lounge, and so we have opportunity to not only talk to each other, but other business entities that are here, some of the sponsors that work with. For example, we met with eBay this morning, and they're a growing presence in Utah and expanding their footprint in Utah, and they're doing some really wonderful things. About 1,800 jobs now in Utah because of eBay, and so opportunities for us to kind of introduce ourselves to other businesses. And of course, my great sales pitch is Utah, the best place to live, to raise a family, and to do business. And as you probably know, Doug, just a week ago, CNBC named us the top state in America for business. So that's the trifecta now. We've had Forbes this year, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and now CNBC, three major media outlets that have named us the best place in America for business. So we want to, promulgate that, perpetuate it. We want to promote it, and that's good for our future economy.
Absolutely. There's an old cowboy saying that it ain't bragging if you've done it.
That's
and
right.
We ain't bragging. It's Forbes and everybody else bragging on Utah, which is nice. Governor, you and I have been to several conventions and had the opportunity to rub shoulders and, pass each other in the halls and discuss some things. One thing that I noticed last night, there's a little different feel, and maybe you have a different thought on this, but for me there was a little different feel to this convention. It's a little angrier, and I felt that for those who are here, there are the true Donald Trump believers, and then there are those that seem to be maybe a little late to the party or even a little reluctant of the party. Are you feeling that at all in the circles that you are inhabiting?
Well, clearly there's a little more of a division this year, certainly at the beginning of the convention. In the other four conventions I've been to, there has been kind of a consensus as you come to convention. The nominee's been picked, everybody seems to be in agreement and unite behind the nominee. Not so much this year. We find that Donald Trump has not been quite the uniter. Again, it's been kind of divisive in the process. And for people of Utah, in particular for our delegation, where we were so happy about having our favorite adopted son, Mitt Romney, be at the top of the ticket, and where we really thought he had an opportunity to become the president, and now looking back and we say, gee, we really missed, as a country, America really missed an opportunity with Mitt Romney to be the president. We're a little bit deflated, I think, because of that. So we're a little less enthusiastic than some areas of the country, and many areas of the country are, like you say, maybe a little late coming to the party here and saying, can we get behind Donald Trump and unite the party behind Donald Trump's candidacy? For me and for many of the governors, I can tell you the fact that he's added Mike Pence to the ticket as the vice president has been a very positive step.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because I've heard a lot of people say, well, it's better than Hillary, but I've seen a little elevation, a little more enthusiasm among some because of the selection of Governor Pence.
There's no question about it. He brings a lot to the table. He was one that was considered for president running anyway. He decided not to, but that's the cachet that he brings to the table, the respect he has from his peers, governors and members of Congress. Mike Pence, they know, has the right stuff to be the president. And so if you're going to be a heartbeat away, I think that makes people feel good. I know my wife, the First Lady, was asked yesterday by one of the media people, who are you going to vote for? Are you going to vote for Donald Trump? And she said, I'm going to vote for Mike Pence.
Yeah.
And so I for some people, I voted for Mike Pence, and Donald Trump kind of comes along with the package, and so I think Mike really does add a lot. I'm excited the fact that he's on the ticket. Good friend of mine and a very consistent conservative.
You look at Utah's role in this convention. We're going to be talking with Enid Mickelson in just a moment. She's standing over there talking with Lori Pritchard right now. But she had a very prominent role, not only in the Rules Committee, but also in the selection of Cleveland. She was the co-chair, one of the chairs, one of the individuals who sought out and decided on this site. And then you look at yesterday, the little floor rebellion that people have talked about. We had Mike Lee at the epicenter of that. Utahns have played no small role in this, and includes the Platform Committee.
Well, Utah's always punched above its weight. We have a little more influence probably than our population. We are a state that has a lot of activists, people that are, involved. Again, we lead the nation in volunteerism. It shouldn't surprise us. We're engaged in our neighborhoods and our communities, and certainly on the national stage. I mean, you look at Senator Hatch, one of the leaders, has been the leader in the Senate. Now Senator Lee, Congressman Bishop and his committee assignments, Congressman Chaffetz,
yes.
Chris Stewart, doing great things. Mia Love, the first African American Republican Congresswoman in history. So, I'm the chair of the National Governors Association. I mean, it goes on and on. We really are, in fact, impacting the nation in very significant ways that belies our population and our geographical location. So, Ina's done a great job as a prominent activist in the Republican Party here, a former Congresswoman herself. We had to stand down as a site when she was out working for a site for the convention. She did a good job. I'm glad we're here in Cleveland. I think they're certainly trying to treat us right, and certainly the security here is really impressive, and people are trying to be very friendly.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because both you and I were in Tampa, and boy, Tampa, even Senator Hatch, who has seen more conventions than any of us, said just how tough and almost oppressive that was in Tampa. It was a beautiful city, it was a wonderful convention, but wow, the security was tough. I'm not feeling that here. We certainly feel secure. There are cops everywhere, but not like Tampa.
Well, and again, we had the hurricane that came in there that kind of disrupted the convention. I think that was part of the heightened situation there with emergency needs that could happen at a moment's notice. I remember in Philadelphia, in fact, I was there just before the Olympics, and that was in 2000, and they did a really great job, which I brought back and said, what they did in Philadelphia, we ought to do for the Olympics. They had people on every street corner, people in the middle of the block, a lot of police, a lot of volunteers. Where can we direct you? What are you looking for? And really, we kind of replicated that with our hosting the 2002 Winter Olympics. But they're doing a good job here under kind of difficult circumstances in light of all that's going on in the country today. We certainly wouldn't want to have any kind of negative activity happen here, and I think the police are doing a good job making sure that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we have some of our highway patrol members who are here. I talked with the Indiana superintendent of their state police yesterday. His name's Doug Clark. What a nice guy, and everywhere I go, I'm just seeing police from all around the country, certainly in this area, certainly in Ohio, but they just couldn't be nicer. So far, we've just had a wonderful experience.
Well, it's nice to have some of our troopers here helping out. Another area where we have a leadership role, and that's Jess Anderson, who is the team leader for my security detail here in Utah. He's also the association president for the security details for all the governors in all the states.
Wow.
So he's like being the chairman of that organization. So again, another area where Utah's leading, and it's nice to be the leader.
Governor, before we take a break at the bottom of the hour, what are you looking most forward to? I was looking forward to, honestly, I'm interested in what Chris Christie has to say today. Melania Trump last night, a little controversy over whether or not there was plagiarism or not, but I was impressed with her speech. Mayor Giuliani was fired up. What are you most looking forward to?
Well, Rudy did a great job. Mayor Giuliani, again, a friend and a guy who's a lot to admire there, and certainly with the circumstances we find with rioting and some of the challenges we face here in the country, he's gone through that, shows that how to take charge. We met with our governors, in fact, in Iowa, and talked about the rioting and some of the challenges that the governors are facing and the important aspects of how we can prevent it, and if it happens, what do we do to react to it. I think the First Lady, hopefully, Miliana, did a good job in acquitting herself, very articulate. I'm looking forward to hearing not only Chris Christie, my buddy there, but Scott Walker, who I thought would have been a great presidential candidate in his own right. So I'm interested to hear what he has to say. I'm really excited about hearing what Governor Pence is going to have to say. So like I say, I think he actually adds significantly to the ticket. And it'll be interesting to see what happens on Thursday when the Donald, comes out and says, I'm ready to take on Hillary Clinton, and please unite behind me. I'm anxious to hear what he says to bring us together. I hope he comes up with a good speech that will, in fact, show the conservative principles of the Republican Party and the principles necessary to govern this country and and make America great again. I think that's really is a good phrase. I believe the states are doing that. We need to have somebody in Washington, D.C. that can work with the states to make America great again.
Governor, I always enjoy our conversations. You're so accommodating for our program, and I hope that we can maybe talk on Thursday.
Well, let's plan on it.
I'll give you the day off
here
tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.